Hello. Let's get our repeated selves out of here. Pause this. Greetings. This is a surprise live stream chat on this is Wednesday, the 28th. And we're doing this live stream because OMG Drums just was released today. Work, and now it's out. And so I want to spend a little time sharing the library. We're going to look at, it's kind of like we're going to do an unboxing of the library. How's that? We'll talk about what's in it. Between now and April 7th, you also get the Mega Magic Viola library. It's the demo of the library, not the full library. And this is so that you can get all excited for Viola, which is coming next. And also because I am inviting my Plugin Guru customers, Guru Nation, to make patches for this library. So there's all these really lovely string sounds. There's 16 samples. There's some really nice ones. Some really fun stuff. So this library is included right now when you buy OMG Drums Volume 2 from the website. And let me show you that real quick. Here's my website. Here, we can hit the log out. So as you can see, click here and it will take you to the library. It's $40 instead of $49 until April 7th. There's the demo right now. The video is for volume 1. I'm going to make a walkthrough video for volume 2. There's 300 patches, a whole bunch of crazy samples of drum samples for Omnisphere, which is really exciting because typically, oh, thank you guys. I'm getting nice congrats from the release. Appreciate that. So we're just going to, I don't know, I just want to hang out, you know? I haven't done a release library and then done a live stream the same day. So I was like, you know what? It'd be kind of fun to, you know, after you release the library, you know, stand around and thank people that are buying it, share some stuff about the library, stuff like that. So that's what we're doing. Let me show you a couple of the multis really quick and explain the layout. So there's 2 libraries. OMG Volume 1 came out 2 years ago, January. So it's taken 2 years to get Volume 2 done. Volume 1 is chill, dubstep, and they all, both libraries come in the formats of a kit. So if you hit kick, you're going to load up the kit. You have the loop where it's using the arpeggiator. We've set up all the separate tracks in the arpeggiator to play the parts so that, right? And then you go to the groove and it totally changes in that. And instead of doing that, it's now. Look over here on the stack page. You know, so that's the idea. You get a kit, the loop, and these fun to jam to grooves covering dubstep, film, chill, glitch hop, hip hop, and trap in Volume 1, and some rock, which is kind of fun. Volume 2 is only dance and trance. So these will be things like these are so insane. So I'm just going to go here and play. I'm just going to play I'm going to play 2 notes. And it's a little slow for trance. So let's speed it up. Let's add the drums by just playing low C. just Omnisphere all by itself. And we have the mod wheel. Set up to do just crazy breakdowns. And we'll explain that in a minute. I'm going to show you a couple more. These are, I love to play these. Here's Mercury. Oh, this one's so cool. This has this thing called the Airwave did this one. You play one note up here and it's this beautiful. Check out what's going on. So there's an arpeggiator. Turn off the effects. That's without the effects. Add the effects. That's just insane. With mod wheel. And you have, I mean, my God, you can do a whole record starting track ideas, then branch out, have other parts come in from other synthesizers, but it's a complete idea. Just off you go. I could play these. I've said it before. I've said so many times. I really love playing these. That's why it took so long for the library to come out, right? So each one of these in the trance are going to be hitting you hard in the trance category. Get up here to the dance stuff. Here's the fun. This is To the Stars and Back. I have a muted guitar. Oh, I got to slow this down a little bit because it's insane. So I was like, slower. We're going to like Jamaica. That's it. One more time. 4. Here's the bass. And the drums, check this out. When you move the pitch bend up, I should turn that off. When you have the pitch bend moved up, hi Siri, it brings in this. The clap goes through, let's take a look at it. It's right here. Chorus, echo. So it's doing an echo actually more than a chorus. But there's chorus, it's a modulated delay. Into a spring reverb, and then I have a sustained compressor to just bring up the energy. So when you hit that, you get a nice triplet hit. Mod wheel down, or actually the pitch bend down. Oh. Oops. Oh. Takes out the snare. Decided I just wanted to do that. Usually it takes the kick out, but in this case we took the snare out. Then the mod wheel. Dancehall man. And then what the fun thing with this thing is that on top of the multis, we've saved out every one of the patches that we made to make this multi. So that if you go over to the bass part, which is actually a couple parts. As you can see, there's this. Let's go to part 4. And if we go to OMG Drums Volume 2, we have all of these BPM bass patches. I mean, there's a ton of them. So you can just... Now maybe in case I didn't want to go over here to the octave and shift it. If I want to go to part 6, make that a different bass patch. So we go over here to OMG Drums Volume 2. So I made something different. It's cool. And if I don't like the snare, let's go to the snare. Actually, I really like that snare because it's got the cool snare reverb on it. So let's do this. Here's the hi-hats, right? If I want it, I can just go here, sample page, go to OMG Drums Volume 2, and here you are looking at all the hats. So I can just... Let's say I want to use that. Shift it up. And I want different kick drums. So I go over here, hit this. There we go. Nice chunky. So I've changed the hi-hat, I've changed the kick, I've changed the bass on 2 different patches. That's how easy it is to mix and match while this is designed. It's designed for creative songwriting and fun jam times. Hey guys. Hey, thank you, Miguel. Appreciate that. If there's any questions, shoot them into the chat. Okay, cool. Okay, so what comes with the library? How does it install? Let's go over this stuff because there's a couple particulars that are special to this library. It's still ringing out. That one patch of airwaves, where is it? Oh, my Sumatra. Skippy Sumatra's got a long delay with lots of feedback as well, so guilty. Love the long delays. So if we, yes, we're going to change. So if we look at the OMG for Drum, OMG Volume 2, see there's a README, which has instructions on installing, talks about the sets, the samples. It comes with 300 patches, 263 samples, 295 arpeggiator presets, 3 stack presets, and then this is kind of unique. I included the demo songs and the wave and the MIDI files to them. And Saturday, let me show you this. This is kind of cool. Saturday is going to be a premiere of a video that I have shot that I'm still editing. I'm actually hoping to get some more footage. This was shot at 3 different locations. Oh, you're opening in Photoshop. No, I don't want to do that. Quit. This is at 3 different locations on the Oregon coast. And each one's for one of the 3 demos, and I'm hoping to do 2 more here in Portland. So if you go to the demo songs, you have them here that you can drag into your sequencer. And there's also the MIDI files. So let's do this. So if we were to go over here, and it's just WAV files. I didn't even make them MP3s because waves are going to sound better. So if we go to like Double Dutch and we load that to a track and don't import. And so we could hit play. This Double Dutch. So if I look down the list here, I'll find Double Dutch, right? That's the demo. Believe it or not, it's just one pass, real time with a multi. And so I included the MIDI file so you guys could study these if you wanted to. Double Dutch, I'm just going to drag this into Logic onto the Omnisphere track. And I'm going to mute the audio track and just play the sequence. And it should sound the same. And you can see everything playing here. It's the same. And I could slow it down. So this is it playing in Omnisphere from the MIDI file. So I haven't done that before, but usually the demos are big productions and a lot of work. But what's cool and what's kind of fun to show is that this is just Omnisphere by itself playing just one thing. So if we were to do one more of the demos, let's do Superhighway. Let's go over here. This is really cool. So if we go over here, mute, unmute. This was at sunset on the Oregon coast. We shot this video for this one. Slow down. Wow. I didn't realize. Wow. It was shifted the tempo of the audio. That's crazy. So I'm manipulating audio right now. But I can mute that. I can go over here to Superhighway in the dance and call up Superhighway Groove. And then all I have to do in my sequencer, let's make this so everybody can see what's going on. Go to the Finder, say Superhighway MIDI right here, and drag it in, let go. Make that go away. You go down here, bring this to channel, measure 1. And now it's playing. Okay. So this is just one multi playing in real time. Okay. So fun. So there's 3 of these. And we have a good question on the chat, so I'm going to answer this while we're looking at this. The question is it possible to multi-channel out the drums like in Super Matro? The answer is yes. It's very easy. Right here, you have on the mixer page of the multi, you have the ability. So if we go over here to Omnisphere, you first of all need to go to your sequencer and click to Omnisphere and say multi output, which, hey, it's already set to that multi-channel output already here. So that means that you go to your sequencer, and in this case in Logic, all they have is a little plus button. And each time I hit plus, it's adding had auxiliary buses already. See, this is a live stream from a while ago, so it had this all set up. So now, as I play this, let's say we loop this part here. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm gonna have it loop this 4 measures, I think, because that way it won't stop the drums. So all you do is turn it down. Let me yell over the top of it. So here you have your MIDI channel, and below you have your output assignment. So now this kick has been sent to this auxiliary. And you'll notice you can get things to sound so much better by doing this. Let's have this bass go to output D and the E. When they get to separate channels, it's cake. It's very easy to do. The key to multi-output assignments is to make sure that you've changed your instrument from stereo to multi, and the only default setting inside of Omnisphere is 8 stereo channels. And then you just go to the multi, to right here, to choose which of those up to 8 outputs of stereo you want to send it to, and off you go. So it works lovely for that. So this is the first library where I've done something. I like to do new things. I don't like to repeat myself, right? So this is one where it has inside of here this folder of demo songs. There's also demo presets, and there's a lot of demo presets. So we're going to go over here to our Spectrasonics folder. Here we are in our Spectrasonics folder. It's on my external hard drive. Let's go to Steam, to Omnisphere, to Settings, to Presets, to User. This is where any kind of presets you want to place, they go here in the User folder. You can't put them up here in the Factory folder, because the way it's organized is very different than it used to be. It used to be that it was all on the top, but now it's got its own User folder. Now, when you're installing the library, you'll notice there's this, if I back up one step, here is the .omnisphere file right here, 259 megabytes. That's installed simply by choosing install.omnisphere and navigating to that file and hitting load, and it will load it. But these presets, these bonus presets, you have to manually install them. And so you would go to a separate window and navigate to this folder, your sample, whatever it is, Spectrasonics, Steam, Omnisphere, Settings Library, Presets, User. And you can take the stack presets. Your stack folder usually is empty. I have a lot of presets in mine because I use stack for my voicing work all the time. And you just take these 3 files and drag them into stack. And sure, we can replace because it's the same presets. Okay. Now, the envelope presets, they go into the envelope folder, and I already have them here, so I'm not going to place them. The arpeggiator presets, you can open this up because there's 2 different folders. And you can take these 2 folders and put them into the arpeggiator folder. And then 06 effects racks set 1, that goes here, effects, and then you have to go down here to racks. And inside of here, you can, as you can see, I've got a couple, I think 6 and 7. But 6 is the set. 7 is distorted guitar presets, which only come with Mega Magic Guitars Volume 2. That's the distorted guitar preset. That's where they come. At some point, I'm going to do an update, and we'll redo the bonus presets and probably include everything I've got to date, because I have some things that are specific only to certain libraries. And that's where those files go, into that user folder. And by doing that, when you get to Omnisphere, you now have under Arpeggiator, when you click here at the bottom, you have to scroll all the way to the bottom, OMG Volume 2, and I think the name's different because I get rid of the name ARP in the final, but all the kicks, all the snares, hats, cymbals, the bass parts, everything that had an arpeggiator pattern has it saved here for you to use. The things that I find the most useful are the starters. This is where you have a blank full starter. which is nice. You also have other things like 4 on the floor, or snare on the upbeats, snare on the 3s for dubstep, 8th notes, 16th notes, 16th notes pumping, where it's got the like you do in a lot of trance stuff. They're just defaults to get you started. Okay. If you go over to the effects, there's a triangle you can click right here. And here's where you can get to the Plugin Guru racks. And there's distortion, there's effects, there's mix, and phaser for the different categories. Mix is what I use all the time. And you can go from the very first mix, which is called standard compressor limiter, to things that have delay and reverb, things that have compressor or delay and limiting. I tried to describe these fairly well with what's inside of them. And eternal verbiage means it's going to be really long reverb. So those are another place to quickly get you into a certain zip code. Envelopes, if you hit the little plus button, there's a little triangle right here where there's the factory presets, and I use like this just one spike all the time. But I also use the presets that I've created for a lot of the work that I do. I've got a couple in here I use all the time. The string swell pad is really great for just getting a swelling up and swelling down type of a sound, stuff like that. So it's nice to have those. So those presets are handy to further. This is mainly for people that are going to program Omnisphere. If you're just going to be calling up sounds and writing music, which is awesome, then you might not need these bonus presets installed even in the first place. They're there for just help. It helps speed me up in my work, and so I like to share what speeds up my work to help you with your work. Okay, I can totally work with that. Yes, the bonuses are the same, although there is bonus arpeggiator patterns that are different because they're the patterns that were used here inside of making this library. So the OMG Volume 2 is different than the OMG Volume 1. Here's the bonus art patterns that come with every library. The standard art presets Volume 1. So the Volume 2 is new art presets. Okay? All right, so I'm going to show a couple other fun things. I was thinking of trying to make a... I'm doing this video, right? And I showed you a little teaser for it. I'm going to be shooting some time lapses tomorrow downtown, and we'll hopefully be implementing that into them. Okay, got it. Yeah, install the art presets if you want. It's the starter art presets are a great place. These I use all the time to get me started with just the same basic shaped piece of clay like I want, and then go from there and mess it up. Let's see. I like triplet, so let's play that for a minute. Speed it up. Are you not playing right? Come on. So you'll notice that I'm looking on this page and it says next 16th for all these parts. And so there's times when you play it, it's going to be off. Just take everything off stop the drums, stop the bass, and then re-trigger, because everything is set to trigger to 16th notes. And I've gotten email questions about this before. When you come to these multis, let's say that you were just playing this sound. It's not real time because this is quantizing your playing. So you might want to change it to trigger immediate. Then I can play anything I want, anytime I want. Now, the challenge is that now it's not in perfect sync, and you'll see if I go. It's harder. Now, if you play this into your sequencer and quantize it, you'll be fine. If you don't, and you're trying to play it live, you'll want to have it set to trigger 16th, because you can play a little off. And it will be in time. So that's what the triggering is about. It's to make it so that everything can be in sync. So if you don't do that, it's not going to be in sync. Okay? So let's go to Dead Cow. I love this one. So we'll go, yeah, we're a good tempo. There, it's off a little. So fun. Timing is tricky. So fun. Let's see here. El Bandito. I keep playing this because I can't want to remember him back. That was a cool one. I love that. So the mod wheel, listen to the drums, just the drums. The mod wheel makes the kick go away, brings up reverb. Oh wait, makes the snare go away. Then pitch bend up. Want to see how he's doing that? It's a delay effect. Here's without it. Got 3 delays in a row. 30-second notes, 16ths and 8th notes. And then right here is the EQ, which is set to a high pass filter. And this is set to the pitch bender. Oh, it's muted. Oh, we're doing it a different way. Okay, how are we doing it? Pitch, bend, sample start. Ah. Different way to get it. Oh, it's muted. Okay, how are we doing this? Delay mix, mix. Arp length. That's how we're doing it. Yes. There's 3 different ways he tried. So if you don't like this way, let's mute that. We could go to the studio frequency way. I kind of like that better, personally, because you get this mid. Right in there. It's really cool to get that stuff. But he didn't want to do that. He wanted to use the arpeggiator link. So, just kind of shows you there's 3 different ways. What a sample start sound like? Let's try that. So let's go mute this. Go to sample start. Unmute that. Move the pitch bend down. Oh, it gets rid of the attack. And you can have it move later into the sample if you want. Just had it moved a little bit. See, right there, you've already lost the attack. Clever. Okay, so the multiple ways you can change and modify things in Omnisphere makes it really fun to study and get going on. So let's see, we got another question or two. How much time should the Omnisphere file take to import? It doesn't take very long. I've heard from someone, I recently got an email from someone tonight that it was spinning on, because I'm using 2.3, and there might be something going on with people with 2.4. And standalone, both OMG 2 had partial install, but never finished. Yeah, I would also suggest contacting Spectrasonics tech support. That should not be happening. It does not take that long to install. Here, I'll install it here. Install.omnisphere. Okay. And let's see here. Let's go to the desktop. I have a messy desktop, so you can't see what's on it right now. And let's go to, it's called OMG Drums version 2 for final. So here we are. I'm going to say install the Omnisphere file. It contains 132 multis, 300 patches, 263 sound sources. Yep. Install it. Should be just about done. Watch as I get the spinning ball now, right? Forever. Now remember, it's overwriting everything too, so. There we go. And I get that nice notice in the back. It was installed, ready to use. So off we go. So 30 seconds, maybe. So it doesn't take that long. The Viola is even shorter because the Viola folder, the file is only 42 megabytes in size. Let me show you one more time for those of you just joining. If you want to check out the Viola, initialize the multi, go to part 1, go to Mega Magic Viola demo, and here are the 16 sounds. These pad ones are sounds that are composites. This is actually 5 different sounds to create this one sound. And I have an 8 sample version ready to play across the keyboard, which sounds just unbelievable. This is just a single sample. And to show you how different the samples can sound, here is Regal Grace, which is another one of these composites. It's using a Del Norte pad. It's using a Mega Magic pad, along with cello, as well as the viola. So okay, now listen to this. So this is the G3 sample, which is, or C3, which is, whereas this is the G4 sample, which is right here. And that difference of that sample being here, when I play down here, like C3, here it's normal. Listen how different it sounds. Just from an octave and a half down. So acoustic instrument samples really need multiple samples. 8's not really enough to really accurately do acoustic instruments. But we do the best we can. But this one, that's the G4 sample. This is really nice for the higher stuff. Whereas the Regal Grace C3, if I I play this up high. It still sounds good, but it's even brighter than it should be, you know? Because the way samples work, as you go up the keyboard playing a sample that's this pitch, and you're playing up here, it's brighter. There's more high frequency added to it. There's marcatos. This has very long reverb on it. That's all reverb. It's not looped. Just rings and rings and rings. So while Mega Magic is very long, like 12 seconds is what we're going to cap it at. Ambient is more like a cathedral, kind of a real simulated ambience. I mean, there's no reverb on these sounds, so there's no reverb in Omnisphere. This is just in the sample. Okay, crescendo is lovely. And it's looped, kind of at the apex of the sound. So it's just looped right there. Okay. There's motion fast, which is lovely. And if you compare that to the cello, I think I had a motion fast here. A whole different vibe. Who are your players? I had Kevin Dietz for the cello, and then Mary Eckert for the viola and the violin here in Portland. When we get this library, the full library doesn't come out until the end of April. So I will have all sorts of footage of Mary playing. I'll share in live streams and stuff like that. I love this. This is harmonics. Just amazingly beautiful. So this is a sampling of 16 samples. The idea being you get to use these to make patches, put your programming skills to test, make sounds, send them to me for consideration for adding to the full version of the library. If I pick your patches, you get the library for free. So it's kind of a win-win if you want to do that. And it's just an opportunity to patch, to make sounds, make programs. Because I obviously believe in education with all these videos I've done on the YouTube channel here. So I got here late. How do you get the Viola sample pack? Yes, it comes with OMG 2 right now. And will be a $2 purchase to everybody else that doesn't want to buy OMG Drums on April 7th. That's when the sale price for OMG Drums Volume 2 stops. And I'll make, and this library goes away from the purchase with OMG Drums Volume 2, but it's a separate $2 purchase. The idea being, I just want to make sure people are customers at my site. So that way, if we end up using your patches, it's easy to get you the libraries. And I also want I want customers that, or people that are at least registered at the site to, you have to buy it for $2, which means you're now a customer. So once you're a customer of mine, then you can work with these sounds, and I don't mind you working with these sounds before it actually comes out. Normally I wouldn't want to do that, but I'll do that for my customers. So that's one of the bonuses of working with Plug and Groove, right? So let's do this. One of the fun things to do is to take one of these from scratch. Let's go over here to multi and make sure stack mode is turned on. And one thing with OMG Drums Volume 2 is there's a ton of BPM stuff to play with. That's really fun. All the kicks, the claps and stuff. So let's say we want to build something from scratch. This is what you would do. Go down the list to kick, let's say first. And that sounds good. Turn on the ARP so it plays. Go to part 2. And let's say we want to get to OMG Volume 2. Let's get a hi-hat. So let's go to hats and turn on the ARP. Now, I get to do some playing around if I want. I can go here to the pitch. I could go to effects. Okay, let's go to part 3 and add a snare, let's say. So we go over here to there, to snares. Fizzle pop, what does that sound like? So I like that. I think at this point, I have to do a couple of decisions. So one thing, these are currently set up so that they don't track across the keyboard. For a simple reason. Because this way you could do something like this. I could go to add a bass. Oh, there's the ARP. Let's keep it. But here's the thing. Because the drums are not transposing, the synth parts are. So wherever I play on the keyboard, they change. So let's go to part 5. Let's go down here to BPM basses. Why don't I hear this? Oh, it's part 5. You got to realize stack mode only works for 4 parts. After that, you have to right click and say add part 5, add part 6. Let's just add them all so that they're available whether I use them or not. There. Now, go to mixer. I might want that bass part an octave lower. Hey, so nice. On the main page, there's an octave setting right here. If I play different notes, drums don't change. But the drums, the bass parts do. Let's go to part 6. Let's see, what do we got here? So I built this idea for a cool groove. Using groove parts that come from the different grooves that were not intended to work together, but clearly they work together. I could go to the art part if I wanted to go all these leads. Totally different vibe just by changing one part. And the mod wheel on these patches is the most wicked we've come up with. Like this sound right here. It's nice. It's warm and fluffy, kind of analogy. Move the mod wheel. This is insane. Add the bass. I mean, I love it. Okay. And the other thing that's just so awesome, this is 129 beats per minute. You're driving along. What if you wanted to do like some sort of a like dark, you know, goth, Marilyn Manson. Boom, just change tempo. I sing a song of death and pain. Off you go, you know. They're that flexible because it's synthesis. These are not sampled loops that need to be manipulated and sound cheesy when you speed up and slow it down. It's just playing back these sounds faster or slower. So they sound incredible, whatever tempo you want to use. So here's, hey, 200 beats per minute. Now, to make that work for that genre, you'd want to go to the kick and go over here to your effects, to the common, and add a evil distortion. There you go. Let's revise it a little bit. It's too distorted, so you bring down the gain of the input. So it can do it. It can do 177 beat per minute death metal, no problem. Okay. So it's a really fun library. I'm very proud. It took so long. These take so long to put together and come up with the right parts. A lot of trial and error to make things that matched and play your jazz chords. From death metal to this. The mod pitch bend down makes the kick go away, and the pitch bend up adds this ambience. And this is the one where it sounds like a piano-ish Paradise 7. But as you can see, it's no piano samples. It's fun to come up with stuff like that. Oh, these are all so nice. Fight of the Intruder. Yes, we messed it up, so it's go dark. Need strings for this. it's fun to feed stuff into the delays. Oh, where can I find? There's one that is so fun and it's got a cool trick. I'll show you guys on Saturday. We're gonna do a live stream on Saturday. Got some fun stuff planned up. This is crazy. Listen to this. Just the mod wheel. I'm using sync and having so the top of the sync range is like 2 octaves up. So you can call up whenever you want. And then the lead sound. And that's done by using harmonia. And I think I did a fun thing with this one. No, I didn't on this one. But on some of these, I would even like assign the pitch bend wheel or the modulation wheel to bring up the volume of a part that's really soft to start with so that it's not there as it's going through the range until you get to the top. So you can do all sorts of sculpting of how things happen with the controllers. Lovely. Hot coals. This is one of those where the pattern of the groove is kind of busy. So this would be a fun one to show going to the arpeggiator pattern because the kick drum's on an upbeat. Very clever by Toby. He did it really cool. We go here to the patterns. But a lot of these are just 4 on the floor because it's the dance trance thing, right? Yep. Every art pattern's 4 on the floor. How funny is that? Hey, a different pattern. It's not 4 on the floor. And it's just as easy as clicking the parts you want. And if you want the range to be more exaggerated, make sure your velocity is set fully to your ARP. And then also make sure that your velocity sensitivity is at max. If it's at max, then I won't hear these. So you can get really subtle rhythms if you want by just make sure you exaggerate the velocity range to be 100%. If it's anything below 100% or 0, it's introducing by scaling a certain amount of the velocity that you play. So that way you can have it like this and it's a pattern, but if I play soft, oh wait, snares are soft if I play hard. Here's really soft. Play hard velocity. So it's scaling based on how hard I play the key when I start this pattern. If you put it all the way to 0, it doesn't care. I could play soft or hard. It's going to still generate the same values. All right. Any questions? I just wanted to pop up and hang out for a little while. Oh, good. Thanks 3 times. Yeah, it's a fun library. I mean, dance and trance is actually a pretty wide-ranging genre set. And so there's a little bit of everything in here. It's totally fun to play with for sure. What's this one? Love that one. Kick drum go away. So what we got? We got a discussion going on here. I wish I knew how to design sounds. I like a patch from the 1080 called Flying Waltz. Sound is so mesmerizing. I wonder if it could be recreated in Omnisphere. I'll have to listen to that. JC's talking about there's a 1080 patch and in the Roland SoundCloud. Well, here, we can play it right here. I'll go outside of where I'm at because I don't mind looking at this stuff. So Roland SoundCloud 1080 called Flying Waltz. So if we go over here to category, let's see, how would I use is there a search browser or I just have to, if you guys see it. Those are basses, leads, brass. I think it'd be somewhere around here. Anybody see Flying Waltz? I don't see a Flying Waltz. I might make sure that's the name of this patch, right? I wish I had a search. Bank C99. Thank you, guys. All right, Bank C99. Flying Waltz. There it is. What does it sound like? Oh, I'm on the 128 PM. Oh, wait. It didn't get it. So hold it. Bank C. Oh, that's easy. So it's two elements that need to be, it's two LFO actions. So let's, what the heck? Please buy OMG Drums Volume 2. We're going to go into programming mode for a minute to have some fun. So let's do this. Go to part 1. It's a sample. Let's go vocal. And let's just say core library. So we go through here and find like a, we could do it with the boys choir. Hey, it sounds just like it. Okay. So there's so many ways to do this. We could actually do it with the arpeggiator and make it even easier. So let's go to the art presets, to the starters, to blank full. I just want to make it 2. That's 8th note, I think. So there's that happening, right? And set to chord. And then there's another LFO assigned to a pulse. That's set to eighth notes. Let me compare that to where I'm. Yeah. Oh, we got to make sure this is set to legato. And that's legato. Maybe not the arpeggio. Okay, so let's do this. Let's mute this for a second. So we want to modulate the pitch of this with an LFO. It'd be a square wave. We hit the plus button because we only want it to go up. We don't want it to go up and down. And 0.125 in half is 0.65. 0.6. Let's make it legato, sync, and eighth notes. So we get to where it's tuned to a fifth, right? You need to have another sound layered with it because they've got another vocal sample. So let's go vocal. And let's choose not a phrase, but maybe a. And go to enveloping. And then you go back to your first thing to the other LFO. Then you can add delays. Like, let's quickly add a plug-in groove effect preset from the bonus presets. Here, let's use one that uses magical DDL verbiage. Let's make it like 24 voices of polyphony. Okay, so let's save it, and I'll give it to you for free. Save patch as, this is a BPM pad, kinda waltzy flying. And let's put it into the I'm going to put it into a weird one of these, and then I'm going to pop it out. So let's go to BPM, save. I got to go through the tagging process. This is using vocals, pads. It's polyphonic. I'm not going to do all the tagging, just childlike and dreamlike and ambient, and you could say chill out. Complexity simple. Author is John Lim Cool. With compliments, March 28th, 2018. My website, so you can go buy a library. And save. And so that's pretty. Now, I haven't taken it all the way out to the spec I would for a normal plug-in guru patch, but just to get you going. So let's go over here to Omnisphere, settings, libraries, patches. I haven't even looked at chat, so I hope you guys like what I'm doing. Patches in here, art BPM. Where did I put it? I thought I put it here. I'll get you a Dropbox link in a second. I have a good ear because I've been doing this for 30 years. That's kind of fun exercises to take certain sounds and try to recreate them. It wasn't that folder, so it must have been this folder. Yeah. So I'm going to compress. I'm going to get to my Dropbox and put it into my, I have a freebies folder. I'll put it in there and then give you a link on the YouTube chat so you guys can download it. And then just put this into a folder and off you go. So this is BPM pads. So right here, copy the link, go to the chat and paste. There you go. Download and enjoy. Now, if I was going to take this out farther, I would probably just look at controllers. Like, I would probably want to do something like, it doesn't need this EQ, so I'm going to replace it with a filter. This is just if I was going to do it for my own libraries. Then modulate this with a wheel, invert it. And because it's hitting resonant peaks, I need to go modulating the volume of the output down a little bit too. And then when it gets to this point, I'd want to do something tricky. So I'd want to probably go over here to my filter, which isn't being used. I'm going to set up a dummy snappy envelope. And then I'm going to go over here to the page for the effects. And on this cutoff, right now, because of the mod wheel, it's moved down here to the lower position. So I can modulate this with the filter cutoff. Oh, wait, it's not repeating because this is all done by LFOs. So let's do this. Instead of filter, let's use an LFO. Let's use the LFO that's doing it for everybody else. Another possibility would be to, you have a controller of the depth, so you could have it so that it's off. And let's unmodulate these guys for the moment. Unmodulate. Yes. And then go to here and modulate these guys with the wheel. This would be fun. Not inverted. So that way it starts with it off. And modulate this with the wheel and set its intensity max and not inverted. So now it's off. The lovely pad. So you could have it go between the two. It'd be kind of fun. Especially for film, because you want to have it so you can... right here you have orchestra. You know, this kind of stuff. So anyway, so my pleasure. I love making sounds, as you can tell. Give me any sound, and here, let's do this. Save patch quick. And let me go back up here. And we'll call it Flying Waltz version 2. I'm naming it in the Finder. And then let's take this and I'll go to my Dropbox. If you use this in a film, let me know, okay? So there, the link is copied. There's part 2, volume 2. All right. Okay, I'm going to take off. Please, if you need inspiring grooves, OMG Volume 2 is peachy keen. Really, really happy with how this turned out. Really happy with how that patch turned out, too. That's really kind of fun. Just chilling is fun. This is just a split with bass and piano. Slow it down. Let's combine this with flying waltzes. Here we go, ready? And if we wanted to, we could say, we don't use part 6 very often, so let's bring part 6 up here. It doesn't need to be triggered, and it doesn't need to be latched. And let's go to part 6. And let's see here. If we go to, I think I put it into here, BPM pad. If I say there. Now you got that combined. Oh, I don't hear. What did I do? Did I mess it up? I want part 6 to be this. Oh, you know what? It can't load it because I saved the patch. It's got a different name, so I'm going to have it search really quick. There. Oh, I got it. So in this case, I want to have the intensity all the way up because so it's not the same as Flying Waltz. I didn't nail Flying Waltz, but I showed you a glimpse of the things. The thing that's unique with the 1080s, it's got 4 parts. So what you can do here is you can pull these apart by, that's what part 1's doing. So it's far easier, actually, what it's doing. It's just using LFOs. And this is the opposite. So it's simpler than what I did. I went kind of complex. This is to do that type of thing. What you would do is, let's Let's go up here. I like my way of doing it. It's very different though. So if we were to turn this off, remove this part. So what they did is kind of clever. It's just a triangle waveform. But they have 4 parts. So the trick there is that I'm making the things happen with 1 part. I would need more parts, because if I was to have this LFO happening on this and have it. And then the idea is this. So you have full strength of this happening on this sound, right? Let's see, show modulation, LFO 1, full strength. Right? And let's have this one go away. So it's just going like up and down, right? Then layer 2 is also going to need to be done that same way. Modulate with LFO 1. But you invert it. So while 1 is down, 1 is up. Maybe using a sine wave, you'll get a more sharper. That's how they get it for the actual patch. But I threw in the wrench because I used an LFO. To give you the 5th. So there's all sorts of different ways to get the those kind of things. So, good morning, Marcel from Holland. Would love it if you could take a question of as to a 49 keyboard, what to get, Ken? There's a question about mapping for a 49 key. Oh, thank you for pointing that out. Ken was asking. Oh, is there anything I can do to adjust this better for 49 keys? Understood. Okay, so to look at that, let's load up a multi. These are all set up for a 5-octave keyboard. You have a 4-octave keyboard. The easiest way to do that would maybe be to just transpose the key bed down an octave. Let's call up something like Metroplex. And so it will set everything up. Because low C is used to start the groove. And then there's a bass part. And then you'd have till here, which is 2 octaves of keyboards, 1 octave of bass. Now, if you're using Logic, I can help you with this. If you're using another sequencer, I'm not sure where you will find it, but every sequencer has a track parameter settings. And right here, you can just click and drag this down -12, and you've shifted the keyboard down. So by doing that, you're now able to play. Let's see, I'd actually want to go up an octave, I believe, right? So 12 this way. No, it's -12, I guess. Yeah. There's some way to shift the keyboard in MIDI. Either you've got some 49 key keyboards have a transpose, so you can transpose it that way, or you can do it in your sequencer. No. How do you adjust live? If you're doing it live, then your keyboard controller needs, most keyboard controllers have it's a cryptic, usually confusing way of holding down a button and pushing a key or something, or there's a setting somewhere for transpose. There's some way on your keyboard to transpose it so you can have this work. Oh, and Ableton Live. I'm not sure, but I'm sure there's a octave transpose and shift in Live. Yes, guys? Anybody know? Yeah, Ken, there's on the, I could find on the web probably how to transpose. Let's see. How to transpose an instrument track. Use the pitch MIDI effect. Place the pitch MIDI effect before the instrument track and turn the knob. So you would use the MIDI, the pitch MIDI effect. And that will let you do transposing and stuff like we're doing here in Logic with this parameter right here. You have to add it as an effect, I guess. That's from a while ago, so maybe there's other ways to do it now, but at least you can do it. For I knew for certain you could do it. So cool. All right. Any other questions from you guys? All right. I am going to go. It's been a very long couple of days, and I'm really happy with the library. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will speak to you. We're going to do a live stream Saturday. It's passed over before Easter. There's some fun things I'm trying to put together for that. So we will see you on Saturday. Okay? Any other questions? I think everybody's covered. Well, greetings to Europe. You guys are just waking up. I'm going to go get some late dinner and go to bed. So I'll talk to you guys later. Hands together, head bowed. Thank you for your support. See you guys later.